who's ready for the big astrological energy of today and maybe tomorrow for some of you, today being April 12th and April 13th. We've got a lot going on. First off, we will have the full moon in Libra, and an hour after that, Venus finally moves direct in Aries. And then we also have Chiron in there kind of playing around. And so first off, the full moon energy is really bringing to a head everything that you maybe have experienced the last 6 weeks or so with Venus retrograde. But also, things that you've been experiencing maybe since Libra season of 2024. And so a big theme has been, who am I? Who am I when I'm alone? But who am I in my relationships? This is like a huge theme. We're being really asked, well, the entire Venus retrograde was about us as individuals going within, being alone, and thinking about, what do you value? Who do you value? What do you value in yourself? How do you invest in yourself? And then how can you bring up your value, but not from like an external validation, but more, how can you value yourself more within? Like, how can you be more you? How can you, what lights you up? What do you love to do? And how do you fill yourself up with that? And then keep that. I think in this day and age, it's so easy we make decisions from this place of like, oh, I need to pay my bills. I need to do this for that person. I need to do this for that person. And we kind of leave ourselves as like the last thing that we care about. And I'm not saying be selfish, but how is it possible to do anything for anyone else when you're, this idea of pouring from an empty cup? And I think humanity as a whole, we are all these like empty cups. And so these last 6 weeks were a time where we were supposed to be filling our cups up a little, just a little by little. What do you like? How do you spend your free time? If you were locked in a room alone for a month, no phone, but you can bring, the things that you would do for a month and alone in a room, what would you bring? What would you do? What would you have done? Who would you be in that room alone? Nobody else is in there. There's no cameras. There's no phone. Like I said, who would you be? What would you do? And why aren't you that person normally? And so I think this is what a lot of us were discovering and trying to, again, put value into and build this up so we can have this like, this like comforting feeling within ourselves. I am spending my time with myself and doing things I love to do. And now, Venus is moving direct. Now, how can I spread that to other people? Who am I? I know who I am now. And I've reconciled anything that I was unhappy with these past 6 weeks, this past year. But now I have to go out into the real world. I can't isolate forever. I can't be a hermit. Who am I when I'm with other people? And that could be like my community as a whole. That could be humanity as a whole. That's like the collective. That's your parents, your siblings, your coworkers, your lover, your husband, your wife, whoever. You are you. You should be so solid in, I am myself, I am this person. Of course, we're always working on it. There's no shame if you don't know who you are and you're still figuring that out. That's fine. So many people are. But I think what we've been asked to do these past weeks is like make every move with the intention of like, does this align with who I say I am? Does this align with what I say I love? Does this align with what I say I love about myself? Does this align with what I value? And once you can say yes to these things, as you're going about your day making choices, now then it's time to bring this forward. And how do I use these things to help people? How do I use my my insides? Like, how do I use this to like hug the world? How can I like bring this into my relationships, this kind of peace? How do I show up as myself authentically over and over and over again, no matter who you're talking to, no matter what's going on. How do I keep my value in myself like this, no matter what? And your value is determined by you, nobody else. Fuck society, fuck, I'm sorry, your parents, your husband, whoever. I know sometimes it's easy to let these people tell us who we are and decide this for us. And especially, I know in some situations, maybe people are paying your bills, like your parents or, your husband, and you're not working. I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why people why people don't stand in their truth. And I don't want to judge this. So I understand. And if that is you, I hope, I'm rooting for you. But for the people who do feel rooted and confident in themselves, we're going to be in a whole new world, a whole new earth in this year coming up. And we have to be ready. We have to be willing to say, this is who I am, and to stand on it, to stand on business. And so I think what we will feel as we shift into Venus direct and this full moon is we will feel the tension, and now we're being asked to be real and to be authentic. And it's funny because it's so obvious who has been in their truth and who's authentic these past 6 weeks, because those people are this Venus retrograde has been a breeze. And I can see the people who are crashing out, they tend to be the people that, you question, are they in their truth? Are they hurting other people? Are they cheating and lying to other people? Are they being honest with themselves about who they are? Are they being honest with themselves and their whoever, And the answer typically is no. And I see somebody crashing out, whatever, and I see who it is, and like Kanye West, and I'm sure he's doing it for, he's got an album coming out, he's gonna make some money, but like at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised this guy's crashing out during Venus retrograde and a Mercury retrograde. But it's been entertaining. No hate to Kanye, I love him. But I mean, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, yes, as I said, it's been very obvious who is in their authentic truth. And that's where that should be the basic foundation of like being a human, is to be in that authentic truth of yourself. And I think it's really hard nowadays because of society and pressure, and even the internet is like showing us all of this like bullshit all the time. But that's the purpose, and this Venus retrograde was to help us get back to that purpose, because we need to be in that authentic space moving forward, because the world is getting less authentic with again, the internet, AI. Things are about to get really crazy, and we need humans to be human. We need humans to have and use our voice, for our voice to be heard over the noise and heard over the AI and like the fake shit. And those are the people, the people who are willing to stand in their authentic truth. You'll be able to tell. These will be the leaders of their community moving forward. Even if your community is just your family, it will be necessary to be in your authentic truth, or else you will be replaced by AI. I don't know how else to put it. And yeah, I definitely have more on this, but I want to move back to other parts of what will happen with the full moon in Libra. I think also people may be seeing that their relationships are kind of imploding or exploding, maybe, depending. And again, it all goes back to, who are you? Who are you when you're alone? And now with the full moon, it's like, does this, with our different relationships, I think people are kind of realizing what's run its course and what is not authentic and what is not true. And so this is just the vibe is be true, stand in your truth, be authentic because we need you. The world needs you. I promise it. We need you. Kiss.